Top Shelf.
Hello and welcome to Top Shelf Board Games. I'm Hubba.
I'm Sabrina.
And today we're reviewing Dead of Winter. So in Dead of Winter, you are working as a group of survivors in a colony and you're trying to survive the elements of the weather and the zombie apocalypse and
Starvation.
it's kind of the post-zombie apocalypse. There's still zombies out there, but you're starving. You're trying to collect medical supplies and food, and you're getting your colonies growing, and you're dealing with those issues of waste and keeping your colony barricaded. It's survival in the post-apocalyptic zombie world. It's not directly a zombie game, but there is zombies there. It's more of a game built on dealing with the psychology of the other players, and that's twofold. Each player is given either a betrayal card. They're given a secret objective card, which is either a regular card that makes them part of the colony, or they are given a betrayer card. And each of these cards basically gives the player a psychological profile that they're going to be
They have to accomplish.
that they're going to be kind of recreating throughout the game as they go about accomplishing their secret objectives.
So you can have multiple winners and losers.
Right. You only win the game if you complete everything that's on your secret objective. So
you have an objective together as a group.
Right, and even if the whole group completes the main objective, if you haven't completed your secret objective, you will lose.
Which I like.
Which these elements between that and then having a betrayer who also has a unique psychological makeup, plus each real person at the table and just their tendencies and as they are as a real person, the game can make for some really interesting interactions between people. Someone across the table might be doing an action and you're sitting there going, that's pretty shady. Like, why are you doing that? And the whole time, this guy might be actually part of the colony. He's trying to help the colony survive, but, he's kind of a psycho. And so he wants a couple people to die, so he's doing some shady things that make you think he's a betrayer.
Right.
So you're playing that psychological boundary of trying to complete your objective without making people think you're a betrayer, because then you get exiled from the game.
And then you get a new objective.
Which you'll get a new objective, and so that's kind of the game. You also have this unique Crossroads deck.
I was going to mention the Crossroads. Mm-hmm.
The Crossroad deck will trigger at different points of the game, or at different points of a turn, or it might not trigger at all.
Right. Which I really like. I like that aspect to it. Have a whole new storyline and what you're going to do, and sometimes it makes it really hard. You have to make a hard decision.
Really tough decisions.
And based on your decision too, people are going to be like, "Ooh, are they a betrayer or not?"
If you choose to go with option 2, that.
So it puts you in a spot too.
Doesn't take the food that the colony needs. Everybody might, but it lets you get a weapon or whatever. That can be really shady, and people can think that you are just trying to make the colony fail, but really you're just trying to collect your cards that you need to win the game.
Right.
Everybody has a group of survivors that you'll be sending out into different locations, the gas station, the school, whatever, searching through decks, trying to find the cards that you need to help the colony survive and to help you get your objective. Zombies. Yeah.
So there's an exposure dice that everybody hates. Well, I mean, whoever plays this game knows about that exposure dice.
The exposure dice, whenever time you kill a zombie or you move from one location to another location, you have to roll the exposure dice, which could give you frostbite. It could give you just a basic wound. You could just die.
And lose your character.
And if you die, that bite will spread to other characters at the location. And so if you got a character that's kind of low on the totem pole as far as esteem with the group, they will be the ones that get killed, and that can spread pretty rapidly,
which can really ruin your objective cards. Because sometimes you have to have so many people that survive, and so then you're trying to wait to the end to see if you can kill them off or not. So then you're like, how do I make this win? So Yeah.
Yeah, Dead of Winter is... I really, really like Dead of Winter. There's a 2-player co-op variant that's okay, and it's tough. It's very tough.
It wasn't bad playing with 2.
It's fine, but you lose that psychological part of the game. Because that's gone, because you're working together, purely working together to complete the game.
In the second 2-player?
No, we added one in.
Oh, we did add one.
We added it to see if it would work, and it did work, because it did still kind of give you that... I'm not sure that Sabrina is being straight with me. She's kind of being shady.
I'm always shady.
So I mean, it kind of works, but it's not made for that.
It shines more with multiple people. And it is easier to teach people that have never played games, because we've tried with multiple people. Okay, not easier, but you can do it.
You can do it, but it's one of those games that everybody has to know every part of the game.
Every single detail.
Yeah, everybody has to know all the rules to the game, because when they're going about trying to complete their secret objective, they have to understand how the game works. They have to understand how the starvation token works, how the waste works, how the main objective, what we're trying to do, how morale works.
So that part, they get a little overwhelmed because there's so much to teach. But once they get it and then they play it, they love it.
Right.
We haven't had anybody that's not liked it.
This game is one of my all-time favorite games. It doesn't get to the table a lot, mainly because it is hard to get a group of people together to play it. And
you kind of forget the rules because we haven't played it for so long.
But we did a how-to play that'll get you up and going in about 13 minutes to refresh you on the rules. That was partly for my own...
So we can play by ourselves.
My own well-being, so I can come back and learn the rules really quick and be up and playing.
Right. Because that's a game that deserves more play.
It's a game that deserves a lot more play than it gets in our collection.
There's a lot more Crossroads that I know we haven't gone through.
There's tons of them.
Yeah.
But biggest pluses to the game is the psychological aspect that it brings. Every group is going to be a little bit different, because you're playing a secret objective that tells you you're kind of a psychopath, or it tells you you're a drug addict, or it tells you you're, whatever. Plus, then you as a person playing that role, it can be funny. It can be interesting to see.
And I love
people
how you can
playing
play a
those
dog.
roles.
Not everybody's just a person. You can have a dog too.
But it makes for a really interesting psychological.
Bring in a little bit of role playing, because you have
it
in the doctor. I don't know.
No, it brings in a lot of.
You have all the different characters, or this drunk Santa. So it kind of adds. I mean, it really does bring in a society that is surviving.
Yeah, it really, really does. And it really feels like everybody's kind of a unique person in that group.
And I think everyone feels like they're contributing, and they don't feel left out. Like, it's a co-op, but not. So they're not feeling left out, because, you don't have a...
It's a co-op where there's not one person taking over.
Yeah. I was trying to think of the name for it, but...
You don't have that alpha gamer problem. Because... That alpha gamer, he can sit there and say, we need to get more food in the food bank.
And you can pretend that you're giving it.
We need to get these 3 gas cans contributed to the crisis. He can say that all he wants.
Right.
But in the end, you get to decide what you're going to give to that crisis, or you're going to decide what you do. Because he doesn't know what you're actually trying to accomplish.
Right.
We spend a lot of the game... You spend a lot of the game very, very skeptical of everybody else. The entire time every time somebody makes a move, you're going, I don't know about that.
Or you secretly try to be like, oh, don't forget about the waste, or don't forget about that. Like, hoping somebody, I don't know, trying to mess somebody else so they don't do something else to trigger you, or,
Right.
Anyways.
You try to get the blame to push to somebody else when people start, if you're the betrayer and somebody starts zeroing in that they think you're pretty shady and you might be a betrayer, you can start pushing some of that blame over to, Sabrina. Sabrina just killed somebody. I mean, come on, that's pretty bad. So you can you can use elements of the game that have happened to start pushing that blame somewhere else.
And it doesn't feel like you're attacking you're not attacking you as a person.
No.
You're attacking the game. It doesn't feel like it ever gets. What am I trying to say?
It doesn't become personal.
Yeah, personal. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because you get so wrapped up in the characters and the game itself. I mean, we got lucky. We haven't had any bad groups to play with. So I don't know if there's anyone that can actually ruin the game, but I really like the game.
Yeah, I like it a ton. And
they're coming out with an expansion. Or actually, it's a
standalone expansion, yeah.
So we're looking forward to that.
So, yeah, I really enjoy this one. I like it a lot. If you don't like zombie games, this isn't really a zombie game. Zombies are there, but they're not.
And you're avoiding them in the bite, but
they're not the focus of the game. The focus of the game is that psychological aspect that we've talked about.
Mm-hmm.
That is the game. If you like that idea of that psychology and interaction with people, this is going to be a game you'll love. The zombies, they're there, but not really. Occasionally you just hit them back to keep them from overrunning, but other than that, they're not really. It's not a zombie game. It's a game of interacting with others who have unique psychological makeups.
Oh, I like this game, if you can't tell on our review. So,
if you like the game,
let us know what you think of it.
Put it in the comments. Tell us what you like and don't like about it. Follow us on Twitter. Like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our channel.
And Instagram.
If you want to learn how to play the game or get your game group playing in a short amount of time, check out our How to Play. It doesn't tell you how to set up the game, but it'll help teach your group and get your group playing in a short amount of time. So check it out. Thanks.
Happy gaming.
Bye.